Okay. All right.
Holy shit.
Um.
I just got this chicken and rice from Big Dog Noodle Shop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so fucking hot. Like spicy hot.
Oh, shit.
What kind of spice, though?
Oh, I'm fucked up spice. Like my nose are watering. I'm British, so it's probably just like too much salt.
Not too much paprika on it.
Right, I guess there's 2 elephants in the room. Okay, go on.
Before I forget, Maeve came up to me. Jenna came up to me. I heard murmurings in the room when the PD standard announcement went out.
Jenna came to me too.
Okay. Oh, she did. So,
yeah.
I think it's just we need it a little bit more expanded on.
It's just worded wrong. The way that you read it pretty much says if you don't get to a scene quick enough, ignore evidence. And that isn't what was agreed upon.
It's written fine. It's just there's a different level of reading in our department. And so it being super clear is with listen, I'm spade to spade. I mean, it's pretty obvious what it says.
The spade is a spade.
I can understand that why people may misconstrue what's being said. Colon alongside, if it's written something like must include things such as, and then colon A, B, C, D, right? So people don't read it as something else.
The way that it's wrote, at least for when Jenna came to me, made it seem like the people who are collecting and documenting evidence and making reports and giving a charge are the ones that are being told need to fix that. Whereas the root problem of those reports isn't the person writing those reports, it's the person reading them and taking action on them when they have someone in custody. But Jenna thought it was aimed at the people writing those reports, whereas that isn't what the issue was, right? It's people not articulating from those reports because there's a checkbox there, right? And the checkbox being that charge criminal possession. Tick, I'm done. You know what I mean?
I'm going to be a dick. I think PD as a whole is too emotional, and will find reasons to be mad or upset or stir shit. Not stir around like, oh no, this sucks. I think we need to be cognizant of that and therefore be more verbose simply to avoid those things, because I think now I don't put Maeve in that bucket, nor do I don't know Jenna enough to say. I think some of the rumors have taken a hold of like dooming, for lack of a better word. That shit is fucking crystal clear. People are fucking adults. They if they can't read shit and figure it out, that's them issue. But because we got to deal with them, let's just expand on it. Can we assign it to someone to make it clearer and get sign off from LSPD and then move on?
I mean, my second issue with the report, that isn't the conversation that I had with Ruby, but my name's on the bottom as if I did.
Can we have someone like expand on it?
It needs to be. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Okay. Who would be good for that?
Stevie.
What do you think, Stevie?
No way. Stevie?
My mouth still give me a second. What does he want me to do? To just expand on that announcement?
Expand and elaborate what it actually means. Because people, like I said, they're reading it as if you don't get to a scene quick enough, don't document the evidence. And that isn't the case, right? That isn't what it's intended to be.
Oh, you're having Stevie. Well, I don't want to speak on your behalf, Steve, but why don't we just throw it to a fucking sergeant or something?
I mean, yeah,
You know what I
let's
mean?
do that.
What about B? Just challenge him.
Brother, please, for the love of God, give it to someone who. This ain't something you want to challenge someone on. Give it to Bean.
Give it to Jenna.
Boom. That's a good one right there.
Because Jenna understands now what you want. She's probably going to be able to articulate better.
So, we can do that.
Okay, easy. All right. Jenna writes it up. Have Ruby look at it. Boom, boom. Update announcement. All right. Okay. Hell yeah. All right. Well, that's all I had. I just want to make sure I didn't forget that since it's hot on the top of the list. All right.
Yeah, now we have the next hot topic, right?
Yep. Okay. I'm ready.
King and Miller.
I want to re-engage Miller. We spoke to him earlier today. I thought about it afterwards, and I realized I need to talk to him a little bit more. I ultimately, though, I do want him in the department. I want him to get guidance. You know what I mean?
Okay.
As for King, I think he's going to be good. I spoke to him right before this. I think we came to a realization that a lot of what happened during the Miller. Here's what I told him. King had some preconceived notions. I pointed out that shouldn't be surprising given that instead of resolving everything in a day, it turned into a 1 week stretch of like scapegoating Miller on everything instead of whatever. My only concern, so we squared ourselves away. My only concern that I brought up is him leaving Shift 1 LSPD is going to be their detriment. Who's going to replace him?
I also brought that up to him.
This is one of the things, right, where you're right, but and this is a conversation you had with Peters a long time ago, is if they are, I don't want to put this on King and Miller because the way that I see it is, and I said this to Stevie too when she brought Miller and King up to me, I said I'm not burning any bridges for two people to walk over the bridge. What I mean by that is if there's any resistance against them by you or Stevie or Jimbo, then that isn't going to work for me, right? But evidently there isn't. You're all fine with it, which is fine. Now, there is the argument of if King leaves the LSPD and comes here, who fills King's role? But if he fits into the BCSO and we accept that, I feel it's one of those situations where, yeah, it'll be difficult to replace him, but who are we to keep him from doing what he wants to do if that's what's going to bring him happiness in his position, right? There's two sides to the coin. Does that make sense to you guys or no?
And to add to that, I also think King has sacrificed enough already for LSPD for a long time that if he wants to do something for himself, we shouldn't be stopping him. And if he wants to come over, because he wants to change the pace. I also explained to him that just because he would come, realistically, he wouldn't just shake the responsibility he already has because he's already so prevalent in Shift 1 and so many people go to him. People aren't suddenly going to change that idea overnight. So I said even with the transfer, he's probably still going to have a lot of people still approaching him and still wanting his guidance.
And this is the other thing, and I know, Knight, maybe you disagree with what I'm about to say, and if so, be vocal about it, is if someone doesn't want to be in a department and they have their eyes set on changing for a change of pace, a change of perspective, a change of policing, a change of responsibility even, and you think is right, but you're thinking of the other department, so we we say no to that, I feel that can cause internal stewing to where, like you said, I wanted to go to the BCSO because I wanted less responsibility, or I wanted to do this. I can't. Now I've got to stay in LSPD doing a thing I didn't want to do anyway, but now I'm forced to. And then there's resentment, and then there's lack of commitment. You might disagree. I'm just spitballing on.
I think that I think King transferring, with everything considered, I'm definitely for it. However, I don't necessarily agree with the we do need to think about both departments, and because what we do, they will do, right? So hiring Miller without the caveats being clear as to why we're doing it is very important, as we don't want to that action does bring into question, for example, when a department fires someone, can the other one hire him? There are negative effects. That's why that hiring needs to be not just, hey, come over here. It needs to be clear to their high command as well that this is an exception and what the restrictions are in doing so. I think equally, regardless of whether or not Ruby is interested in the transfer, or like, what her thoughts are on it, if he does do it, that we should be considerate of the other department, because their success is our success and vice versa. So while I do agree that, if King's going to end up, we might lose him in both departments or whatever, the other stuff should be considered. We can't ignore it.
That's it. Or there's then the other situation of, imagine he does want less responsibility or whatever it is that he wants to do. We then deny the transfer and then he steps down. It's like, then no one, quote unquote, won, right? I'm not saying that would happen. Again, I'm just being devil's advocate and spitballing. At the end of the day, you guys can, this is,
I agree with everything.
If you're happy, Stevie, and you're happy with them both coming night, then I'm not going to disagree with that. And at the end of the day, Ruby can deny this transfer anyway. She doesn't have to say yes.
But it also goes back to the fact that King has held that responsibility for a long, long time, which means that nobody else has even had a shot to prove themselves lieutenant, because it's just being King in that position for LSPD for Shift 1 for so long.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
There is also another,
right.
There is also another positive. There's also, I hate to say it, but that means there's also opportunities for people who might not feel that happy in our department to also transfer as well.
Yeah.
Like it opens avenues that not necessarily were there before.
I think the thing for me is, and this is rich from me, because I also transferred to the BCSO, is from what happened to Miller with the BCSO involvement, and also, I guess, some of the conversations we had with King and this whole situation, it's less confusing to me why you two would want them. It's more confusing to me why they want to come. That's what's confusing me here. Because I imagine Miller did feel a type of way when we were involved, or King maybe felt a type of way. And I know everyone's adults and we get over it, and it isn't necessarily that deep on the grand scheme.
You're saying things, why are they? I mean,
why are they interested in coming?
Because LSPD's dog shit.
But I also think it's also another thing that
I think for
King, I think it's simply for King that he's over being the leader, because he feels like he's the only leader in early shift 1 LSPD, and he's tired of that responsibility, and he's done it for too long. And as he said to me today, he didn't sign up for that position. It was given to him, and he's just burnt out in that place.
The third problem is I'm gonna have to kill my brother.
That's true. You are going to have to kill your brother.
Why do you have that such an odd rule? I don't understand. I'm out of curiosity.
It's just something that feels right in my head, and I've stood on it.
I think it can I counter it? Just give you some thought.
The problem to even a counter is something that I've stood on and been very consistent with. So to be inconsistent now would be unfair on all the people I have been consistent with, right?
No, it's not, because you're allowed to evolve as a person.
That's true.
Like, and you can make mistakes. That a good leader makes mistakes and, you know, learns from it and changes course. A bad leader is who gets stuck on arrogance. I'm not saying that this would be our arrogant. I'm using an extreme, and keeps the ship going even though it knows you're about to hit a fucking iceberg. Right?
I understand. I guess the thing for me, it's more of a mental thing of, let's say we were on the other side of life and we were gangbangers. And I was in a gang and my cousin was in the same gang. I don't know. It just, for me mentally, it doesn't make sense.
That makes
but I'm willing.
sense, yeah.
I'm willing to hear counters on why it does make sense. I'm open ears. I'm willing to develop and learn.
I'll give it to you right now. I'd rather people let off steam on a cousin doing SBS shit than dealing with all these fucking jackasses that are supposed to be fucking serious. Like, and I don't mean like little things, but they go full fucking while still holding command plus positions. Like, a little bit's fine, but when you're playing like two fucking mentalities in the same body, it's just, that is way more damaging than everything else.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
what about...
And
Go on,
So-
Alan, let's talk plainly about Alan. Alan don't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't stay long enough to affect anything.
Alan is very dumb. He's
So
very dumb.
he doesn't know anything. He's not an actual police officer. He's an idiot with a badge. And he doesn't do anything in these situations to actually affect the overall outcome of things.
Problem
He goes
is,
down to
Alan is
Grove and
going to
get-
die one day anyway.
Well, exactly.
It's
He'll
also
go down
not
the
your
Grove and he's
place.
gonna get shanked. It's that simple.
I also don't think it's your place to be thinking that deep. And if it was, you look for guidance, you know, among the stars.
Yeah.
You know, like, listen, like, you know, if Jenny's fucking cousin came through because she wanted to fuck around, I'd be in full support. I'd rather have that
Stevie's
than
cousin.
like, you know, I don't, I'm not saying you're going to do this. Yeah. I'm going to say you can do this, Jenny, but let's say, decide, you know what? I'm going to start burning down the hospital, right? And we're like, how are we going to deal with that now? Because, like, you know, it's very, for any of us, a command, there's some wiggle room, right? But like LT plus doing, like, what's the worst we do? Like, maybe put steroids in our ass that's completely legal. But like, if we started doing some like wild shit, covering up stuff, like causing like terrorism, right? And we wanted it to be treated like nothing, like it, we'd be extremely selfish. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we deserve a bit of a break from time to time, right? And I think that's a good way to do it, personally.
Okay.
Or I'm not saying it's the only way, but if someone wants to do that for whatever reason, we should support that for them because they deserve it, right?
That's fair.
I'd say
Yeah.
my only exception would be if it's so detrimental what they're doing that we would not want them in the department anyways. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And I will say I don't think these people that have these, you know, these cousins, I don't think they are literally there for comedic relief, and they're not long term, and they're not longevity, and they're not changing anything other than being idiots with their friends out on patrol for a little bit for like an hour or two a day.
Yeah, you guys are right. Yeah, I fucked up with my my decision. You're
I
right.
don't think you fucked up. Like, I don't think it's like that. It's like your reasoning made sense. It's just, you know,
You can also adjust that reasoning because the circumstances change.
Yeah, that's fine. The other question I have, in regards to both King and Miller, they're both very city-driven boys who love doing what they do. Are these guys going to solo patrol up north, do you think?
Yeah.
Is that something that these guys will do?
I think if we're saying to them that's an expectation, I think they'll both go for that expectation.
We're going
I
to
think
need a
they'll fit in.
desmog chamber.
Yeah.
You know, like an airlock? Or like purifies them.
you know what I told CJ yesterday? We're talking about, you know, her society or whatever. And she kept trying to convince me to join New Babylon. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. And she goes, I forgot what she said, but what sparked me to say it, but I'm like, New Babylon has soaked up so much of the city's like civilians that I don't know how many people want to be in the city and rather be in Blaine County. Because you got like people worth talking to. Down here, it's a bunch of fucking two big gangbangers that got 10 words of a vocabulary. I think they start patrolling up north, they're going to enjoy it. I got fucking G-checked at the apartments. That's still on my mind. Like,
yeah, I mean, listen, you guys do. The reason that you two are in the positions that you're in is because I very much trust your judgment. King and Miller both have my approval.
So
just make sure you're vigilant with how it's handled, and they need to make sure that if they're going to do this and this is what they want, that they have a very respectful conversation with their command too. I don't want this to be in any way a toxic transfer. It has to be very well communicated.
Yep.
I'm gonna get Shang's blessing for Miller.
I also agree with that.
I also need to basically collectively decide what ranks they're coming in as, because that's going to affect things. And then I need to go have a conversation with Jenna, because this is her shift as well.
I think, again, this is my opinion. They're your guys' shifts. What shift is Miller even going to be in? That night, you're going to take him under your wing, but he's shift 1, no?
I mean, wing doesn't imply that, you know,
you have to be present. I get that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Exactly.
He's still going to be answering to both of us either way, and we're both good with detective stuff and with the direction we want Miller to go in.
Yeah.
I think Miller comes in as a deputy. I don't think he retains his senior position.
I think he goes down to a PPO.
Okay, that's fair.
Ooh, that would be fun, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good fucking shout.
I think he needs to go down to PPO, and he needs to have his redemption arc.
I'm fully on board with that.
Yep.
As for King,
may I say before, because when you say
on.
under the wing, I think the implication what needs to be communicated with him, and I think he gets it, but just to make sure the giddiness doesn't make him, is that he's like he's being given an exception with like stars next to his name. That doesn't mean he's going to get like bullied into submission, but rather he's going to be properly trained. That's part of his mandate. You know what I mean?
You're on ice from day one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no coming in here like
you're in military camp top shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's no coming in here like you're a fucking superhero who got their job back. It's no, you're on thin ice and you're gonna do shit properly or you're not gonna be here.
Yep.
It's the mindset that I'm on again.
Yep. No, I'm on the same one. This is why I said PPO. He needs to come in and actually prove that he wants to be here and that he knows and understands his job.
He needs to earn his flowers back, pretty much, to make it black or white, right? That's what he needs to do. As for King, now, my opinion on this too, if we look at Shift 1 in our command, we have Lieutenant Mustard, who wakes up at Storm.
Yep.
We have McQuillan, who's like Shift 1.5. We have Angel, who wakes up at Storm or a little after. And we have Bean, who's around maybe like an hour before.
Yep.
We have no one on the front end of Shift 1 from the hours of like, I'm talking, King wakes up probably 8 hours before the storm, right? So for that 8 hours, there's no BCSO command. Now, I don't necessarily think that we bring him in as a sergeant. I think he's brought in as a senior to see how he adapts to his surroundings and if he actually wants to be here and enjoys it.
Yep.
And if he enjoys it, if he flourishes, and if he wants it, we then slow roll him into the 4th sergeant of Shift 1, which is essentially like a Shift 3.5 sergeant with the hours that he's awake.
I like that.
I also think that it gives him some time to let his hair down and just be a cop.
Yep.
I think it would also avoid the impression there. Okay, just like I came in and was a captain, Stevie was elevated. You became sheriff, right? There's a lot of change, and it would prevent any animosity or things about like, oh wait, this guy just came over and he's sergeant now with the foot.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And even though we have an intent, it gets in front of it.
There are some people that feel that way. Yeah.
No, yeah. I think this is. I think senior's great. Like you said, for your reason, there might be people who think they're road sergeant. Gives him the opportunity to prove that he is the sergeant. Gives him time to let his hair down and just be a senior deputy, just be a cop. Gives him time to acclimatize with the new climate that he's going to be in. And the other situation is, this goes without saying, people aren't pronounced of mine and King's relationship. It also stops any skepticism on the transfer as well, without putting him directly into command.
I agree. I'm happy with both of those things. Back to Miller, how long do we want to give him before we bring it? Like, I know he's got to go talk to Ruby, etc. And you need to talk to Shang. Realistically, how long do we think this process will take for him?
I'm a quick mover. I'm talking to him Shang tonight or tomorrow. So I think same time frame for Ruby. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think if we bring him in, we do it on a Friday. So it's Friday. So Maxwell is less likely to crash out.
I think we should also bring King in on Friday. You're right.
Okay.
Friday. Friday is going to be the best time to. You're right.
Yep.
Maxwell's going to be very
and then we got
upset.
the weekend, right? So it's like cool off period.
Then no one's going to be around, and then Monday comes, and like they just show up to the meeting, and like everything's all crusty.
It's like the opposite of what you do with a firing, because you don't fire people on Fridays.
Yeah, you don't fire people on the Fridays. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Okay, awesome. I can communicate with both of them.
Maxwell is going to strangle me.
She's going to have a major crash
She's
out.
going to strangle me. And you know what I'm going to do when she gets very mad at me? I'm going to say there's a senior position for you too, Maxwell.
Okay.
Come beat with King and Miller.
Oh man.
Then the last thing
she
we
can
need
be
to
my
do
golden
is
girl then.
Yeah. I'll say let's change the
I
pace.
did
You
tell
want to
you
be
I
my
had to finish
diamond
the
girl,
training.
Maxwell? I was your diamond boy once. Let's switch this around.
The last thing we have to do then is we have to go talk to Jenner about
That's actually
this,
kind of fucked up. It's funny, but it's
appraised of this.
this is all jokes. Maxwell's fantastic.
And also, as for these conversations with Shang and Ruby, I would like you both to be present. Obviously, you have your concerns tonight, but it is Stevie's shift. Make sure you handle this together, right?
Yep. Oh man. Okay.
And I mean, fuck it. What's the fucking worst that can happen?
Say no. That's the worst.
Yeah. However, I do want to make this clear as well, because I also feel like I have fucked up with Dark. That isn't a conversation I want to have right now, because I'm on limited time. We do need to have this.
I'm very against him joining after yesterday's impeachment.
I am too, as is the mayor. Well, the mayor's actually not. I told the mayor I'm against it, and he was like, no, I really like Dark, I'm for it, but I don't really give a fuck about Junior. Well,
Junior's on like
Junior's
a new
opinion.
arc every day right now.
He
Love him to death,
is.
but I got the transcript, by the way. It just got sent to me.
Like I said, I do really want to touch on Dark, just not right now. I've got a limited time. I want to deep dive this.
I think Dark would... I feel Dark and I, let me be transparent here. Dark and I have a very muddied, negative, not so positive history. Series of things. However, I don't hold a single one of those against him or anyone else from 5 years ago. It's just, I took that, a passport announcement very seriously. I think we've had very positive interactions, and I don't, the last year and a half, I have no direct negative things to say about him other than what ultimately amounted with the marshals. And so there is a part of me that feels really bad that he probably, as he has been, probably aloof doing investigative stuff while everything burned around him while he was sleeping, right? Because he's got an odd schedule.
Yeah.
That's a reality.
He really does.
And
I mean, he's shift 3. Name a single marshal that's shift 3. I don't think there is one.
True.
There isn't one.
So
So
Him.
he's directing a department quite literally through a telephone.
absolutely.
But
And
he knows he was shift 3 and he still took that position, and that's what we need to not look over.
and that's exactly what I was going to say. Is the reality of the matter is the buck did still stop with him, and until some of these things are resolved, it's not like for him the chapter may have ended. For us, it's still open, and for a lot of victims and potential victims, it is as well. So it's kind of a shitty position to be in right
It is.
now.
And I think what Rhodes was doing wasn't trying to make. I don't think that Rhodes was trying to help Dark skip any accountability or
I agree.
anything like that. I think
No.
that Rhodes,
He's not
being
aware.
his husband,
He hasn't been aware.
genuinely just saw Dark at his lowest, ready to
Yeah.
resign, and gave him a shoulder to cry on, which was the BCSO. And I get that.
So let's bring his cousin back. for
This is
time
the
being.
thing. I hold my hands up here. I'm not an idiot. I personally have fucked up with this one. This is on me. I jumped the gun. It's about what we did to fix it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just reverse it. You know.
The thing is, though, and I know this doesn't actually matter, Rhodes is going to relieve himself a lieutenant. I understand that. And should I keep someone in a lieutenant position who's going to get emotional and get rid of their rank due to this? Probably not. However, it is going to hurt because I do like Rhodes, and he is good for shift 3.
The problem is like
The
it's like
outcome of that with Rhodes was going to happen regardless. If I said no then, or if I say no now, the outcome was going to be the same.
it creates a fucked up
Does it
situation.
have to be a straight no? Couldn't it be until we understand the outcome of the marshals?
It can be. I mean, there could be
No.
There could be a scenario in this world where nothing happens to the marshals. The people try whatever they want to do, multiple impeachments, different forks, and nothing comes of it. To which point, is it still right? No, because we believe that they did wrong.
The issue
Nothing's
is
impossible.
there's two issues. First is realistically, he is the one that was accountable when those situations occurred. But furthermore, while we could have potentially written it off as, well, he wasn't, right? Maybe he was just aloof and he fucked up because he was negligent or whatever, right? Or like, he's just a funny guy. Problem is, I'm just kind of being exaggerative, but problem is that in that impeachment hearing, they said said Gunner deflected all blame and put it on the Dark.
But it also was established that Gunner was the one making all the calls. And then the Dark didn't. It also established that.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to say that.
Yeah.
From what we've witnessed, it looks like Gunner's making all the calls. It isn't hard to make the calls in silence,
But
though.
and I agree with you, Stevie. Like, I believe fully that Gunner did the majority of the decisions, and I believe he's trying to deflect to Dark. I think Dark still bears responsibility, but the thing is, it's like an open issue. You know what I mean?
So why don't we just hold off until if anything is pushed onto Dark?
Exactly. Exactly
Just
that.
don't say no. Just say it's got to be held off until we understand the outcome of the marshals. If Dark is held accountable, and if he's found guilty of anything.
I agree
and
with
if
that.
he's not, then there you go. There's no problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing is, as well, the reason that I even mentioned Dark to start off with, King and Miller are very, very extraordinary exceptions of when there is a very close line of them not being approved. I do not want people to think that the BCSO is somewhere that they can retire or avoid accountability. That is 100% something that I will not stand for.
I don't think Stevie and I would accept that either.
I know you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. I'm just I'm just verbalizing this. And people may percept that that's what's happened with King and Miller. Obviously, it isn't. We just need to make sure that. Well, to be fair, I don't really give a fuck. We don't necessarily.
I mean, can I say play devil's advocate a little bit?
Yeah.
There is hours, weeks, months, fucking years of these two officers who have done nothing wrong. Why is this one instance? Yeah, I get it was pretty recent, but why is that the only thing held over their head? And we forget about all the rest of the time in which they have just done work and they've just been a decent police officer.
I don't disagree, but mostly because
then we can use that for Doc.
it wasn't Miller that No, you can't.
No, we can't, because Doc is in the
It's completely
in the middle of an active
different.
investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not relatable. Because Miller did a boo-boo, and I don't blame him as much as I blame Maxwell, Turner, Peters, and everyone else that rather stand in a drama circle for a week and start getting everyone in a room and resolve it. Versus, we may have just done weapon trafficking with a terrorist organization that's unapproved with the government by the highest order of law enforcement. I think they're on two different levels.
And again, if we're not saying flat out no to Doc, we're just saying we need to see the outcome of this investigation.
Well, to be devil's advocate again to what you just said, Knight.
Yeah.
Opal and Gunner put their name all over that shit, and there was no presence of Dark. Now,
No, they're
this
to
is
blame
me-
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
this
just
is where
Dark.
this is where there's a weird line. Yeah,
There is no weird line.
Dark, not Dark. Fucking yeah, Dark just needs to be patient. What's a fucking week or two? He's not gonna die.
I don't think
Rhodes
it's going to be a
won't
week or
die
two. You're looking at probably
I don't
two.
think it will either.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, he probably won't even wake up anyway, regardless, for at least a week or two.
Listen, Dark knows how to relax. Listen, I've been like, with all due respect, I've been suspended for 30 days. I've quit for like 4 months at a time. Everyone can handle this. We don't got to treat him like a child. And he's adult enough to know that there's something going on. He's dealt those consequences. He knows how to take those consequences. He ain't like, we don't got to, you'll understand.
Well, the thing is, if I got in a room with Dark and explain this to him, I think he'd very much understand. I don't think it's him who's going to be non-understanding here.
We should get them both in the room and explain it to them together.
I agree, because then when Rhodes sees that
who cares?
Dark understands.
I think, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I think we've made a decision or whatever, and if Rhodes feels too, I think you know what to say, and I don't think Rhodes is gonna get too passionate if he does. Just need to remind him.
Rhodes is logical enough to hear it, though. That's the difference. Rhodes is logical. If we have a real reason, Rhodes is a logical person and works on logic. If we have a logistical reason for why we are holding him back, Rhodes is more likely to listen to that than us to saying flat no.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Right. Well, okay. So I need to take a nap for a little bit. I guess the key points of this conversation then, it's been very productive. So King and Miller are approved. We need to push Dark back. And Jenna's gonna elaborate on this statement, right? Perfect. Oh shit. Great work.
Cousins are back on the menu.
Well,
Cock on it. Don't say anything now. Just go think on it, cock on it. And if you're still the same mindset that you're like, nah, we'll respect it.
William Frost's gonna turn up.
Okay.
No, it's too late.
What happened?
William Frost is gonna turn up.
William Frost?
Yeah, my other brother, William Frost.
He's
from
you
a
still
small
have
town called Los Angeles, Tennessee. He's got
you can still have expectations, right, of them not to, be hyper destabilizing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You good, by the way? You sound so exhausted.
I am.
Yeah, you do.
I
some time
was
off?
just saying this to.
He's trying to
Stevie
catch up to
earlier
me
on.
in PoE 2, but he can't.
That as
Oh.
well. No, I'm just struggling at the minute. I've got a
Look,
lot
you'll
of
figure
shit
out your build.
going
It's
on.
gonna be fine. Just like watch
No,
my
no,
ball
no. I
back.
figured out my build. Listen, I fall asleep watching you play PoE 2 every night. Okay, this isn't the issue.
How? I start playing at fucking midnight my time.
Yeah, because it's like my thing, you know. I'm like, oh, here we go. This is good. Slap it on, you know, phone on charge, and then I fall asleep to your voice. Most
Jesus
nights.
fucking Christ.
You're
You're not living down all the rumors. It's like
But what rumors?
never mind.
What rumors, man? I didn't even know there was rumors.
No, what do you mean?
What's the rumor?
That we're fucking all the time on duty.
I enjoy watching you play PoE 2 in your apartment. Like, well, you know, what can I do? Jesus
I
Christ,
got
you
to
know.
mapping yesterday, by the way.
Yes, yeah, I saw.
Brother, I stopped at 3 a.m. What do you mean?
Yeah, I saw. I was there. I was there.
Oh,
Oh
you
my
wonder why you're
God.
fucking tired? Like, what time did your day start?
Yeah, it starts late. Or sometimes, you know, this is getting really weird. Actually, I don't need to dive any further into it.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is what I was saying to Stevie earlier, right? I set the expectation of myself way too high when I first became sheriff, doing like 16, 18 hour days, to now doing 6 to 8, at like 6, around 6, sometimes at 10 on certain days. And now I feel like I'm not around enough. But I think that's because I set the expectation of myself too high initially. 6 to 10 hours is still definitely more than
A
enough.
ridiculous amount of time.
I just need to talk myself out of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
put it this way. You only go to school for 6 hours a day. And that's considered your entire day.
True.
Yep. For what it's worth, I'm cooked as shit right now. I just had a bit of burst of energy, but I got to
can't
end
remember
early
the last
today.
time I
Just
wasn't cooked.
that you weren't?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, there's been a lot going on. You know what I mean? Take a half day. You know, take a day off.
Yeah,
I think
don't
I'm
come
gonna
back
try
tonight,
to
just
do that.
rest.
Fucking hell, I took a day off and got dragged into an office that I was having illicit conversations with Knight and the mayor. You know,
Okay, well,
that was
no, we
my
won't
first
bother
day
you
off
today.
in 31 days. And I still got shit. You know what I mean? It's fucking hard work.
We won't bother you today. Go take the rest of the evening and just go chill.
Yep.
You've sorted
No,
everything
'cause
for
I
the
have
day.
No, I have loads to do today.
What do you have to do?
I need my dopamine, you know. And like, you